scientific death.
In the spring of 1905, the Grover Shoe Factory in Brockton, Massachusetts, was operating at full capacity. Hundreds of workers were crowded onto floors dominated by complex overhead belt systems and heavy machinery. The entire factory drew its energy from massive coal-fired horizontal boilers in the basement, which generated the high-pressure steam required to run the building. The factory operated under a standard working pressure of 90 psi, protected by mechanical safety valves designed to vent any excess steam long before the boiler reached its limit. Safety in 1905 was a matter of external observation. As long as pressure gauges held steady and valves remained clear, the system was considered secure. But a fatal geometric flaw hidden deep within the structure of the boiler seams created a vulnerability that these external safety measures were never designed to prevent. Engineers used lap-riveted seams, overlapping metal plates with rivets, creating geometric asymmetry. Under pressure, the boiler breathed, forcing the joint to flex. Over years of heating cycles, this concentrated stress created a microscopic fatigue crack hidden inside the seam. Because this fracture was sandwiched between the overlapping steel plates, it was physically impossible to detect during a visual inspection. On March 20, 1905, years of invisible cyclic stress reached a breaking point. The metal could no longer withstand the internal force, and the boiler became a time bomb. The seam ripped open in an instant. As the pressurized cylinder failed, the internal environment of the boiler was suddenly exposed to normal atmospheric pressure. This chart shows the physics of the rupture. When the pressure drops, superheated water flash boils into steam, expanding to 1,600 times its liquid volume in a fraction of a second. This instantaneous volumetric expansion created a supersonic shockwave that tore through the factory's wooden framework and struck the workers nearby. The force of the overpressure caused immediate internal hemorrhaging and ruptured eardrums, striking the human body with devastating kinetic force. This first wave of trauma was unavoidable. As the blast moved faster, then the workers could perceive the sound of the explosion. The escaping steam launched the multi-ton boiler shells straight up through the factory floors, like a solid rocket projectile. This kinetic energy severed the building's structural supports, causing the upper 3 stories of the factory to collapse inward in a matter of seconds. Workers who survived the initial blast were now pinned under tons of heavy machinery and splintered timber, suffering severe blunt force trauma and crushing fractures. Many who were still conscious found themselves completely immobilized by the weight of the collapsed building. The mechanical failure of a single hidden seam had resulted in the total structural destruction of the massive factory. The catastrophe wasn't over. A cloud of 160 degrees superheated steam flooded the wreckage, causing immediate fatal thermal burns to those trapped in the debris. Simultaneously, live coals from the boiler furnace were thrown into the splintered wood, igniting a secondary fire that swept through the collapse zone. The combination of thermal asphyxiation and the spreading fire turned the Grover Shoe Factory disaster into a complex, multi-layered tragedy. 58 workers died in the explosion, victims of a disaster that no contemporary safety inspector could have detected with the tools of the time. Investigators concluded that the lap joint design was a fatal engineering defect, primarily because its failure point remained permanently hidden between metal plates. This realization forced the engineering community to move beyond visual observation and into the realm of subsurface structural testing. In 1915, in direct response to this tragedy, the ASME Boiler and Pressure Vessel Code was published, establishing the first legal standards for high-pressure construction. Lap seams were banned for high-pressure vessels, replaced by butt-joint constructions, and eventually full penetration welding to eliminate the geometric breathing flaw. Today, we use non-destructive testing, like ultrasonic and radiographic scans, to see through solid metal and find cracks long before they reach a critical length. The lessons learned from the Grover disaster are the reason we can trust the massive energy contained in modern industrial systems today.
If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment below with your favorite emoji.